Opening scene. Background image of a map showing the US, Caribbean, and Venezuela with military icons and news headlines appearing. Welcome back to the channel. Today we dive deep into an escalating saga that is gripping global attention, the tense and complex confrontation between the United States and Venezuela. The story involves naval strikes, accusations of drug trafficking, military buildups, and high-stakes political theater that could reshape the dynamics in the Americas. What is really happening in the waters off Venezuela? What are the implications of the recent U.S. military moves? And what is President Donald Trump's true stance amid these unfolding tensions? Let's unpack the facts, controversies, and the bigger picture. It all began in September 2025 when the United States launched a series of airstrikes on vessels in the Caribbean, aimed at combating what Washington labels as narco-terrorism. These strikes have targeted groups allegedly involved in smuggling drugs into the U.S., including the notorious Venezuelan criminal organization Tren de Aragua and Colombia's National Liberation Army. Since then, at least 15 vessels have been hit, resulting in over 60 casualties. The strikes expanded into the Eastern Pacific by October, signaling Washington's growing commitment to dismantling drug trafficking networks operating by sea. This military campaign has been framed by the Trump administration as a continuation and escalation of the maximum pressure policy initiated during Donald Trump's first presidency, particularly aimed at Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. Maduro himself has been labeled by the U.S. as one of the world's largest narco-traffickers, with a $50 million bounty offered for information leading to his arrest. The Trump administration has significantly increased its naval and military presence around Venezuela. Starting in August, the U.S. deployed 7 warships and 4,500 troops to the region. This deployment grew rapidly to include approximately 10,000 personnel and USS Gerald R. Ford, the largest aircraft carrier in the world, now en route to Venezuela's shores. The goal is clear: to strengthen America's capability to conduct targeted strikes against drug traffickers operating from Venezuelan territory or waters, as well as to challenge the Maduro regime's grip on power. White House spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt emphasized the administration's commitment to use every aspect of American power to prevent illegal drugs from flooding into the U.S. and to hold accountable those responsible. Despite the military buildup and rhetoric, President Donald Trump has publicly denied plans to launch strikes inside Venezuela itself. In a recent statement aboard Air Force One, he responded firmly with a simple no when asked whether strikes within Venezuela were being considered, seemingly downplaying earlier remarks that hinted at willingness to take more aggressive action without a formal declaration of war. This contradiction has caused confusion both domestically and internationally. Earlier, Trump had said he believed killing drug traffickers coming into the U.S. was justified, and that a formal declaration of war might not be necessary. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio dismissed reports suggesting imminent strikes, calling them false narratives in a public response. At the same time, some U.S. media and sources close to the administration suggest preparations are underway to potentially strike Venezuelan military bases, particularly those linked to the Cartel de los Soles, the military faction accused of massive cocaine trafficking operations. These facilities reportedly shield the regime's drug smuggling activities and serve as command hubs for illicit networks. Scene 6. Shake-up inside federal agencies. Visual. Office exterior of ICE. Scenes of immigration enforcement. New leadership portraits swirling in. Narrator.
So while troops move in the streets and tariffs hit the border, back in Washington, the administration quietly overhauled agency leadership. In one of the largest changes in years, more than half the top field leaders at the agency, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are being replaced. FederalNewsNetwork.com. Why does this matter? Because it shows coherence in strategy. It tells us the administration sees immigration enforcement as part of the broader crackdown, not separate. That means city crime, border security, trade policy, and military posture are all pieces of the same puzzle.
For millions of urban Americans, the implications are serious. Take Memphis, Tennessee, a city Trump has singled out. Officials say homicide is down 13% in 2025, yet the decision to send in the Guard was announced nonetheless. Or take Washington, D.C. In August, the president invoked emergency powers to take over the Metropolitan Police, deploying 800 Guard troops. Critics say the city's violent crime rate was already falling.